Why are so many people boring? Welcome to Alyosha.Speaks. I guess I'm Alyosha. I want to explore the difference between boring and authentic with you. I want to tell you what it means to be an authentic person and what effect it will have on your public speaking skills, on the way you carry yourself and the way you present yourself, on your presence overall. These aren't dating tips. Oh, but they could be. This is meant to motivate you, to inspire you, to introduce some changes in the way you talk and in the way you carry yourself. Our topic in this episode will be the posture, the way we carry ourselves by using non-verbal psychology. Well, let's start. Boring versus the authentic. They are polar opposites in a sense that boring person can be defined as someone who is detached from their own charisma. This is my personal definition, and tell me what you think about it. So once someone is detached from their own personal charisma, this person starts building their pyramid of presence, architecture of presence on wrong foundations. And this has fatal consequences. You either become a gym bro or you get stuck in some alpha talk or look maxing, max lookers, all the things that are going around on the internet. The thing is, be gentle with yourself. Relax, take it easy. Being authentic is the only way you can actually become a charismatic person. So let's take posture as our fundamental example, as a vital parameter, what separates boring people from truly authentic people. If you take a look at overly affluent, rich guys in this neo-feudal slaughterhouse of the contemporary civilization, you will notice that most of these guys, they kind of carry themselves in a confident, open yet firm way, shoulders up, all of that. Well, it's a mistake. The most charismatic speakers in history, and surprisingly, the most notable people in history, were people who were constantly breaking all of the posture advice that most of public speaking coaches impose on you. That means they often used to, wander a little bit with slouched shoulders and all of that. Why? Because it was more aligned with who they were. So if the boring person is someone who is detached from their own charisma, the authentic person is someone who is perfectly aligned with what we perceive to be their core, their essence, their true identity. So sometimes they might come off as imperfect, sometimes a little bit sloppy, a little bit scandalous at times, surely. But at the end, they are perfectly aligned with what we sense and perceive to be their core, and we're instantly attracted to that. So the best speakers in history, from Churchill to certain controversial figures to, let's take for example, Al Pacino. He's constantly breaking every advice on proper posturing. So, on the other hand, you have this legion of uniformity marching into oblivion of insignificance of our attention. Legion of people who keep thinking that proper, confident, strong, stable posturing is something that's interesting to us. No, it's not. So, to quote Mike Tyson, this is not the world for a tough guy. There is nothing you can contribute to, how people perceive you. You can't increase your attractiveness, your charisma by posturing, power signaling as this sort of a person. So from business meetings, presentations to, talk in a pub, there is a difference that makes a person, just walk out and light a cig, or me while at it. And this is the difference between the boring and authentic person. So I'm not advising you should break all the norms. Instead, try subtly gliding or surfing on that thin line that separates rude from polite. For example, an authentic person shouldn't feel constrained to, to slave to their environment. An authentic, what it means, you don't have to sit properly at every business meeting, in every situation. An authentic person, if he or she isn't feeling comfortable, they will show it. They will not hide it. They will not slave to this need to present herself as always, prim, proper and confident, clean and tidy. No, an authentic person, and by doing this person will definitely increase their charisma. They will somehow signal to you that, first of all, they're not feeling comfortable in a certain situation. For example, sitting at a meeting, they will make themselves comfortable. And in doing so, they will simply assume the position that feels more natural for them. And this is maybe what some people would call a power move or power signaling. But yet again, this is the core foundation, the basis. Build your architecture of presence on who you are. Be gentle with yourself. You've become this person, you will realize it soon if you already didn't, and I hope you did. You became this person that you did for very good reason. And the only way to build an authentic presence that will truly be impactful and make other people attracted to how you act, what you say, and, is necessity to build your presence on your authentic core, on who you are. This is the only real foundation. On the opposite, boring people, they try to overcompensate the inferiority complex or whatever by going to the gym, by using, supplements. Don't take me wrong, gym is good. I suppose it's healthy, but the thing is, it won't make you more charismatic. And, hiring public speaking coaches that are, kind of spreading these terrible advice all over the place. So don't worry. The difference between a boring and authentic person in this case, in case of posture, is what is closer to who you are and how you feel. So, in other words, be gentle with yourself and take into consideration that if you want to create this sort of pyramid of presence, architecture of presence, the first and the widest foundation, thereby the basic one, your physical presence, your posture, should be based on who you are and how you feel. This is the core difference between a boring person and a genuinely authentic person. In other words, charisma is how well aligned you are to what others perceive to be your core, to be your identity. And boring person without charisma, completely ignorable person, is the one who is completely detached from who they are. I hope you enjoyed this and, see you around, I hope.